morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by Barstool News Network. It is Monday, February 3rd, 2020, and it's been a hell of a news week, guys. The weekend has been crazy, right?
Yeah, a lot of big stories happened since we last talked, and then we last talked about Florida Man, so it's really been 3 or 4 days since we talked.
Tons of shit, and we're recording this before the Super Bowl even because we wouldn't have time to fit that in anyways. I know I'm definitely getting sick, and the Caps just lost to the fucking Penguins. I don't know what else is going on with you guys in Austin, but not great over here.
Of course, we're recording before the Super Bowl. We're human beings that want to watch the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah. The only saving grace at my house right now is that the house smells great because I'm making weed oil. Otherwise, pretty terrible day over here. Just sickness.
It's like 79 to 80 degrees in Austin and sunny. It's amazing.
It's perfect out.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, in Reno, it's just sickness and your hockey team losing. So you guys got one up on me today. All right. The order of the show is me, West, and Mark. So I'll get us going. And first up, let's talk. And these are all huge stories, by the way. So it's just going to be one heavy hitter after the next. First up is impeachment trial. It's going to have no witnesses in the Senate trial of the impeachment of President Donald Trump. And let me start by reiterating that I'm sick of everybody on this topic. I'm getting sick, and I'm sick of all of you, Republicans and Democrats, all of you. Last Friday, I saw hashtag RIP America was trending on Twitter. That's when I knew something not nearly that serious was happening on Capitol Hill. And sure enough, that was the reaction to learning that there will be no witnesses heard in the Senate impeachment trial of President Donald Trump.
That's a bit dramatic.
Right, yeah.
R.I.P. America.
R.I.P. the country. We're done, guys.
Yeah.
It's over. We had a good run in the USA, but not anymore. Donald Trump has killed it, apparently. So only 2 Republicans voted to have witnesses heard, Mitt Romney and Susan Collins. But the rest of the Republicans felt like they weren't going to get any more evidence than they had already seen from the House hearings. And, of course...
Just a delay. It's a vote to delay. That's all it was.
Well, no. I mean, it was a vote to end the trial.
It was a vote to end the trial.
That's what I'm saying. If they voted 4 witnesses, it was a vote to delay.
That's what that was the argument. Right, yeah, exactly. That was the argument by a lot of the Republican senators. Like, I'm not going to hear... Bolton's not going to tell me anything new that I don't already know.
Right.
I already know what Trump did. I already know that I don't think it's worth removal from office, and that's that. But, of course, that has liberal media outlets crying foul in the light of the guy we just mentioned, John Bolton wanting to testify. But when you consider not just the rules in the Constitution about foreign election interference, but also the rules about how impeachment proceedings occur, it was very easy to see from the start that this acquittal was inevitable all along. And both parties want to reference the part of the Constitution that fits their narrative, but they want to pretend like the other part doesn't exist. They're both driving me fucking insane with the coverage of this, on both sides. So I don't know what you guys, I mean, I feel like it's just been a nightmare.
I mean, I don't know what the Dems expected after the way they treated the Republicans in the House.
We've called it pretty accurately. I thought there might be a 50-50 tie, but it was definitely going to resolve no for there's no way witnesses were coming and stuff. And yeah, I mean, this is not surprising at all. It's not surprising that people on both sides are mad and they're telling it the style they see it. And it's like, right. There's absolutely nothing surprising about it.
It's just so infuriating to me because both sides it's the pot calling the kettle black all the time with both parties on this one. And speaking of being butthurt, SNL made a pretty unfunny sketch about what the trial would have been like had it happened. If you want to get one laugh in 9 minutes, check that out. Adam Schiff, he's saying that the Democrats couldn't have played this any other way. And here's his direct quote. Look, there's nothing that I can see that we could have done differently because, as the senators have already admitted, we proved our case. We proved our case, unquote, which is hilarious because the latest public polling says that 49% of the public says that impeachment is not worthy in this situation compared to 46% who says it is. The other 5% don't give a flying fuck. So that's the exact fucking same as it was back in September when they started this fucking nonsense. They definitely could have played it differently.
Yeah, they could have waited a little while and maybe gathered a little bit more information to bring to the Senate. That might have helped them a tad instead of having to last minute try to get more information.
Right.
That could have helped.
Yeah.
So
this Ukraine stuff was never going to it was never going to work.
Right.
It was never going to get it done.
Anything else than what they did would have been a better play. Also, on the parties calling each other partisan, that's been a really fucking big trend ever since this thing. Each of them calling each other partisan. No fucking shit. Thanks, every single media outlet. The definition of being a member of a party is being partisan. So stop trying to use it like it's some kind of magical defense. Oh, they're partisan. No shit they are. They're the fucking Democratic Party. They're the Republican Party. Okay, so that's that. When you hear CNN or MSNBC or Fox all try to call everybody partisan, shut the fuck up. Obviously you are. Anyway, the final vote for this shit show in the Senate is on Wednesday, when the Senate will acquit Donald Trump in the impeachment trial, just like we predicted on the very first day Nancy Pelosi made this official back in the summer. So thanks for that, DC. Another fucking entertaining partisan investigation.
Hey, well, at least you get some reprieve early next week or mid next week, as opposed to it extending 2 more weeks.
That's true. You get a break. You get a break. But, Mark, you know what's not fucking fortunate about that? The hits are not going to stop coming. Bill Barr has his own investigation coming out later this year about whether or not Obama and Biden were spying on Trump in 2016 leading up to the election. So prepare for more of the same of these partisan investigations, party versus party. It's fun stuff in DC.
It's a great use of time of all their, all of our senators and House of Representatives' time is to go into these investigations and these committees and all this stuff.
That's what they seem to think. Both parties seem to be all aboard the partisan investigation train, not slowing down anytime soon. This is why everybody loves Washington, D.C. so much. Thank you, Capitol Hill.
Yeah. It's just the Capitol Hill is just like the FBI now, and then like a court. It's
right.
Ridiculous. All right, guys, let's move on. It has been not long enough, but it's time for a Brexit update.
Oh, is there an update?
There's an update because it fucking happened.
Oh,
it happened after almost 4 years. A number of votes by the citizens in Parliament, numerous delays, a couple resignations, crushing defeats, a lot of milkshakes, and 47 years in the European Union, the UK said, we out, thanks to its ziplining and some say racist wild man leader Boris Johnson. The official date of Brexit was 11:01 p.m. on January 31st, so if you listen to me, you would have made some money on Predict It, and hopefully that countered the other times you listened to me and lost money. So let's just call it a wash, shall we?
Yeah, man, what a shitty weekend for the Remainers in UK and hardcore Democrats.
Oh,
like they're not even going to be like they don't even care about the Super Bowl.
No, liberal people got destroyed this weekend. Yeah. That's why SNL had the sketch was it was as if a crazy person had written it because they all have gone crazy.
I'm surprised SNL just didn't cancel.
Right? Yeah, just cancel the show.
Yeah.
You're so upset you can't be funny.
Crushing defeats on both sides. So now the real work begins as Boris Johnson must get a new trade deal with the EU completed. He says that will be done by the end of the year. That's the deadline. So be on the lookout for those markets. And I'm calling it right now. A new deal will be secured by the end of 2020.
Ooh.
You heard it here first. So what does all this mean? Well, for now, while the transition period happens, it means not much changes as far as the trade deal with the EU. Things are pretty much the same. But if no deal is met by December 31st, 2020, the UK will be subject to tariffs on their goods traveling into the EU, which would have a huge economic impact on them. What else is left to be decided with the EU is how the EU and the UK will share security information, access to fishing waters, electricity and gas sources, aviation regulations, blah, 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 regulation on meds. Boris has promised that an extension will not be necessary to make the new deal happen, which apparently I think that he has until June to request an extension.
Oh, right. Sure. They're not going to extend it. Yeah.
No, they're definitely going to extend it to the end of the year. Though many are once again skeptical, of course. So the UK will pay the EU around £30 billion for the exit, and not much will change for now as far as citizens traveling to and from each entity. Again, the main thing here is how goods from the UK will be treated in the new trade deal. There will also be no British members in the EU Parliament. Not a lot to tell whether or not this has worked so far yet. They've definitely Brexited, but the real test will come in 2021 with this new trade deal and whether or not they reach that.
I can't believe we didn't send Wes to London to party this weekend.
God
what a miss.
I got to go to Iowa though, Mark. So
Yeah,
It was-
yeah.
Close.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, so we'll obviously keep you updated on that. Not as much as Brexit, obviously, but we got to keep an eye on Boris.
Well,
Right,
I
well-
mean, do you think Boris, like, so you're bullish on Boris in general? You think he's an effective guy?
Well, I mean, he got it done. He had some obstacles with, but he eventually, he said what he was going to do. He only had to file one extension, and then he got it done.
Compared to, like, 10 by
I
Theresa
think now that Brexit has happened, I don't think the EU wants to like destroy the UK. So I think that a deal will be made by 2021.
Boris backed by Nigel's a formidable force.
it's I think
It's a
gonna
milkshake
happen, so-
magnet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, that's what's happening in Brexit right now. They're gone.
All right, another fun one here for you. How's the coronavirus going? Everyone keeps asking me while they pepper me with online links to horrible developments. It's not great. In fact, things are going really, really bad. A man in the Philippines has died from the Wuhan coronavirus, becoming the first reported death outside of Wuhan and outside of China. He was a 44-year-old man that had been in Wuhan prior to going to the Philippines. At the time of this recording, there has been a reported more than 14,000 confirmed cases around the world and over 300 deaths from the coronavirus. Those numbers are probably pretty hard to keep track of, and some people are taking them with a huge grain of salt as conservative in numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Not as many as they're, more than they're reporting.
Right, because if it's spreading so fast, it keeps going up and up. So
One of the hospitals that they were going to pop up in 10 days has been constructed and now has been taken over by the Chinese military. So that sounds like a fun building. Something like 60 million people are on strict lockdown in Chinese cities. They can only send one family member out of the house once every other day to the grocery stores in Huanggang, which is a city of 7.5 million that was near the epicenter in the Wuhan market area. President Xi has called the Wuhan coronavirus a devil virus. Reports are that China looks like a ghost town with everyone locking themselves indoors. Even like trade ports have kind of shut down. Apple has shut down all 42 of its branches in China, which is crazy. Apple stock and global stocks are taking huge hits. No shit.
Yeah.
Safety first, though. I mean, fuck money when people are dying.
Yeah, it's really sad. I saw a picture on Twitter of a woman, a mother whose daughter was dying of cancer, and she was like pleading with them at the barrier to like let her get her daughter help because she's just dying of cancer. That's the kind of shit that is really sad, and all these people being quarantined.
Hard for family members to get to other family members. Hard. Yeah, it's a lot. It's bad. There are now more than 160 confirmed cases in 26 countries or territories outside of China. Germany has confirmed its 10th case as of Sunday. The United States has confirmed at least 8 cases now. The U.S., Australia, and New Zealand have announced that they will not allow any foreign nationals who have traveled to or from China to enter their country at all. So no one can come, like a foreign national can't come into the U.S. if they've been to China.
except for all those people that got in the last 2 weeks.
Well, those were U.S. citizens. All 3 countries will continue to allow their own citizens who have visited China to enter, although they will be quarantined. In the U.S., it's a 14-day quarantine period thing. The U.S., for instance, has labeled China a do not travel destination, the highest possible warning, and they've also declared a public health emergency over this coronavirus. So all the haters can suck it. Told you. The U.S. has evacuated 195 Americans, kind of what Will was hinting at. They are under the 14-day quarantine already in a U.S. An Air Force base in California. A second evacuation flight is rumored to be underway this weekend and into Monday from Wuhan for some more U.S. people. Major airlines, including American Airlines, British Airways, Finnair, and Hong Kong's Cathay Pacific, have announced they will no longer fly to mainland China at all. And Delta was announcing on Sunday, I didn't see if they got it out yet, but Sunday or Monday they're going to say they're going to suspend as well, all the way through at least April 30th. So just insanity.
Yeah,
That's going to kill the Chinese economy.
It is. It absolutely is killing the Chinese economy currently. The World Health Organization finally declared the coronavirus a global health emergency, something I've been begging them to do for over a week, as it has now had at least one case spread person to person outside of China. That seemed to be the tipping point for them, and has far surpassed the amount of confirmed infected the entire period of SARS over 7 months. This is just in 2 months. They have almost they're about to double the amount of cases of SARS people already. 2 moms in Australia had a violent fight over the coronavirus. Basically, what happened was they had a heated discussion on a chat group about the coronavirus, a mom's coronavirus chat group in Australia, and they decided to take their chat to the beach where they had a brawl. One woman ended up unconscious for a brief period of time, and both had to be hospitalized. They were aged 33 and 36, and they just were, beefing over the coronavirus. I'm assuming one thought it was very serious, and one thought the other person was a fearmonger.
Wow.
This is not as uncommon as you think, though, as people are worked up about coronavirus, taking a page out of my book, and others are worked up about people fear-mongering or spreading rumors and don't believe corona is very serious. You'll hear a lot of, it's not as dangerous as the common flu in most countries, and the percentage of people dying is very low. There's also, and rightly so, a lot of concern about people being racist or xenophobic toward Chinese people and their culture. Listen, both sides can be right. You can be scared shitless of coronavirus and still not be a xenophobic dickhead. And the people giving the people shit about being worked up about the coronavirus can fuck right off, too. You're so tough, you're not concerned about a super SARS easily spread person-to-person virus that's turned the most populous country into ghost town? Get the fuck out of here.
Mark, if
Go
you
catch pythons in the Everglades, you bravadic motherfuckers.
If you lift enough, Mark, you can't get sick. It's been proven.
Right. Like, how tough are you?
Take
You're
enough
not scared of
testosterone
the craziest
supplements.
virus in the history of the world since 1920.
Yeah,
fuck off.
It's only dangerous to babies and grandparents.
Shut the fuck up.
Nothing to worry about.
All right.
That's it on the coronavirus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now. Till tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's scary. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be more and more every day. So nonstop with that shit. All right, let's take it over to the lightning round. Okay, first up, we're going to talk about Iowa caucusing. The day, gentlemen, is finally here. It's caucus day in Iowa, February 3rd. It's the first vote of the 2020 presidential election. And let's take it to Predict It to look at the most current odds. And I didn't cue this up because I'm an idiot. So just give me a second while I stall here and pull up the Iowa odds.
It's like 63 Bernie, 27 Biden.
You got any snacks cooking in the oven for the Super Bowl?
No, just the weed oil, like I said.
Okay.
But I'll definitely be enjoying that during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 63 cents, Bernie, like Wes was just saying, 26. It looks like to buy Bernie, yes, it's 64. So that's good for you, Mark. To buy Biden, yes, it's 26. To buy Pete, yes, it's 11. And Liz Warren is 8 cents, and then Amy Klobuchar is 3. And I think the bottom 3 are all, like, if you're going to take like a plus a billion waiver, Warren or Buttigieg isn't that bad.
I don't know. I would agree. It's scary. I'm scared shitless because I maxed out. I have 1,400 and something shares on Bernie, which is a lot.
Man.
Well, gun to my head, I'm picking Bernie for sure. But I also wouldn't be surprised if this one turns up on its head because Pete and Liz both have really good campaign operations in Iowa. So for them to be trading at such low numbers, that seems odd going in.
The caucuses are just so crazy. Like you're gonna get your front runners, and then the people that don't hit their 15% are gonna have to join someone. So it just really depends on the day of the caucus.
But if one or both of them gets 15%, then you're in a real situation there.
I'm in trouble if Liz Warren gets over 15% because all her people would go to Bernie.
Yep.
Yeah, and Buttigieg and Warren, like I said, they both have very strong operations in all the early states, so they're going to be in the mix more than
Should
people
be interesting
think.
Today.
Yeah, it definitely. Keep an eye on that. Other than that, sit back and get ready to cash that Bernie New Hampshire ticket if you bet it. That's looking really good. New Hampshire polls and everything coming out positive for that. And then I would stay away from Nevada and South Carolina until you see what's happening in this Iowa election. Just because Biden, you don't know how low he's going to finish. And it could be a surprise win too. So I think maybe before you bet Nevada and South Carolina, check out what happens in Iowa. No matter what you want to play, go to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20 to get your first $20 matched on us in the stock market of politics. And also, speaking of Iowa, make sure that you watch our Iowa Why Do They Caucus First video that's coming out today. Please like it and share it. We really need it to do well in order to get approval for future trips. So
that's right.
Absolutely. On a side note, I think if Biden loses Iowa, I think you hammer South Carolina Biden victory.
Right. Yeah. Like if
he'll focus on it.
Exactly. If Biden comes in really low, he's going to have to go all out to make sure that he wins Nevada and South Carolina.
Yeah.
To Will's point, Biden hasn't tasted defeat before, whereas Bernie is used to getting screwed over by the DNC, and he doesn't care if he loses a state here and there. He's going to still grind it out. Biden might say some crazy shit. If he loses a couple states he thought he was going to win, he might go off the handle.
Yeah, time is Biden's worst enemy.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic to see like a Howard Dean style meltdown from Joe
Biden on tilt. Yeah,
it's gonna happen. All right, guys. Yesterday was Groundhog Day, and we missed one hell of a party in Punxutawney. And since it was a cloudy day versus a sunny day, which is, I think, the only fucking thing that matters when determining whether we will have an early spring or 6 more weeks of winter, Phil did not see his shadow and therefore predicted an early spring.
You're right.
It's got to be something to do with the colognes and perfumes people are wearing, his bladder, whether he has to go to the bathroom in his cave or whatever.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, though, if there's shade, he can't see the shadow.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So you'd think that would mean more winter, but no.
No, because it's crazy. Because out of 134 Groundhog Days, this is only the 20th time he did not see his shadow. Wow. So who knew Punxutawney was so sunny? And I'll tell you what, it's like 75 degrees and sunny in Austin. It's so nice. I'm pretty sure I saw Margot Robbie and Megan Fox scissoring on the side of the road on the way over here, which is a great indicator of an early spring.
It's certainly what it feels like. It might have been like in your mind, but they should be.
Could have been.
They should be out here doing that.
Could have been just 2 homeless people fighting.
I bet you this groundhog is full of shit and winter's going to last forever.
Well, yeah.
Who knows?
Hey, well, who are you to talk shit about a German pagan holiday that's 1,000 years old?
Right.
It just seems like these animal predictions never. Well, the octopus predicted the World Cup really well that one time.
What about Larry the goldfish?
That's true, but he's really not that great if you look at his record. I mean, he's good. Sorry, no offense to Larry, but he's only had a couple good seasons where he was like.
One year he had a fantastic
One year
run.
he had a great run. He was very happy.
They mean nothing. But not everyone was so excited about an early spring and infinity beers being drank. No, guess who chimed in and tried to ruin the fun once again? That's right, those pussies over at PETA. Because when you combine any kind of good time and a breathing organism other than a human, PETA likes to try to ruin it.
Yeah. How about the thousands of people having a good time, PETA? The humans.
No, they don't care. They don't care about humans over at PETA. And this is just about the lamest and craziest shit I've heard out of PETA in a very long time, as their leader has said that Phil undergoes much unnecessary stress and should be replaced by a fucking robot.
What are they talking about?
Yeah.
The groundhog gets treated like a fucking king?
Exactly.
That thing's getting belly rubs constantly. It's being fed grapes individually by hand.
It's got hundreds of statues. Yeah, it's well fed. It's like if someone kidnapped Punxutawney Hill, they would be captured and murdered.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
why don't you just
Groundhog Day.
cancel?
Yeah.
You should just cancel the whole economy of Punxutawney, PETA.
Really. They were fucking that town over.
Citing the fact that groundhogs generally avoid humans and dragging him out from his stump to crowds of people causes great stress.
Sure.
Yeah, says PETA founder Ingrid Newkirk, who wrote a letter to the Punxutawney Groundhog Club. And in that letter, she says, quote, by creating an AI, Phil, you would keep Punxutawney at the center of Groundhog Day, but in a much more progressive way. Talk about taking your town's annual tradition in a fresh and innovative direction. She was really excited about this.
You know what creates a lot of stress for groundhogs? Being a fucking groundhog. They're terrified of everything.
Right.
If it's to decrease stress, you might as well just kill all the groundhogs.
I'll tell you what's not going to decrease the groundhog stress level is seeing a robotic groundhog take his job.
Yeah.
That's not going to feel good for the real groundhog.
He's going to be pissed.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine how long they laughed at this letter at the Groundhog Club.
Are they going after just Punxutawney Phil, or are they going after all those copycats in Canada, too?
Well, right. I mean, it was at least 30 minutes of jokes about zoos and mascots and what's fucking next. You fucking loon, Ingrid. President of the Groundhog Club, Bill Dealey, after catching his breath from roaring laughter, said that Phil is very well cared for and loves his routine. His habitat is temperature controlled and is inspected by the Department of Agriculture every year to ensure Phil is treated like a fucking king. He also added, quote, if he's so fearful of the cameras, if he's so fearful of us and the crowds, why doesn't he make an attempt to run away? And maybe it's because Bill is clutching his side like you might clutch a python's head at the Python Bowl.
Yeah, that's probably
joke,
it.
Python Bowl.
I had one earlier.
But who's to say? Who's to say? So he looks pretty happy to me.
There's never been a groundhog in the history of groundhogs that's gotten more chin scratches.
Yeah. How could you not be happy? His family lives like under golf courses. Like you said, Mark, constant fear of their lives. Phil is just pampered to the 10th degree.
They're a stressed out species. That's just how they roll.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't understand the problem.
I've never
here.
seen him. Yeah, I've never seen him try to like bite the handler or
if
really.
Phil could communicate his life to other groundhogs, it would be just very
be
braggadocious.
So jealous. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Heard your sister got run over by a car. I'm in a temperature controlled, habitat. Yeah. Sucks. So fuck off, PETA. Go enjoy the early spring.
Oh, my God.
Indeed.
All right, guys, last story. A woman dressed in a Minnie Mouse costume beat the shit out of a female security guard on the Vegas Strip last week, and there's an awesome video of the fight that has gone viral. It's hard to tell who or what started the fight because the video starts as the fists are being thrown, but once it gets going, Minnie Mouse took off her costume head and went to work on the security guard. She punched her in the face several times, then got her on the ground with some hair pulls and ground and pounded her face in. At one point, she even socked her fellow costumed entertainer. It was either Mickey Mouse or Goofy. You can see his big pants and legs, but he had also taken his head off, and she threw an errant throw at the security guard and socked Mickey right in the face.
Damn.
And yeah, it was pretty wild.
That's awesome.
So like you said, there's
great thing to see.
No evidence of how this started. That just all of a sudden Minnie Mouse is beating the shit out of a cop.
They're investigating. They haven't made any arrests or identified the woman who was the one that won the fight. But the videos, it starts at the first punch thrown, so you don't see what started it.
Oh, crazy!
And this is an alarming trend. I think people are getting worked up over Disney characters. It might be resentment toward the parent company. I don't know. If you recall, a while back, Will did a story on a Friday about a Florida man who was banned from Disney theme parks forever because he. And he was arrested because he repeatedly groped Disney princess that he was waiting in line for.
That's right.
He was the only adult to get a picture with her.
Yeah.
Too horny.
Yes.
And then also there was a huge viral brawl in California at Disneyland last summer where some family members beat the shit out of each other and all got arrested. So it's a dangerous job.
The tensions run high. You're at an amusement park with your kids. I don't have kids, but Wes, I can only imagine that's not the most relaxing environment for somebody.
No, I mean it's definitely not, especially if the lines are long, it's hot, they're just complaining. It's definitely high stress. You don't want to fucking lose them.
Right.
They're running off, getting lost. It's high stress.
Right. Well, it used to be you only had to worry about heat stroke when you're wearing these stupid costumes, but now you have to be like a trained MMA fighter, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's gonna do it for Hard Factor. Hopefully, Andy Reid got his well-deserved first Super Bowl yesterday. Again, we recorded this before the game. If the Niners won, that Andy Reid comment is going to come across as very sad or very mean. Hopefully,
yay for George Kittle. So either way, you're going to be happy.
Well, no, Andy Reid. Kittle's like 25. He's got a long career ahead of him. Hopefully everyone is also not too hungover today, or if so, they wisely took the day off. Oh, hey, as Will mentioned, our huge Iowa video that we spent a lot of time on is dropping today on the Barstool app and website, on the blog, and will be on Barstool News Network and Hard Factor Instagrams and Twitters. So click on every single link when you see it, share it, so that we can get sent places to provide you more videos like it in the future. Keep your eyes on the Iowa Caucus tonight. We might go live with a quick stream tonight or put out some video reactions of who won money and lost money between Wes and I.
Oh.
And, most importantly, have a great fucking day.